So in this video, I will go over each breakup stage, what you can expect in each one, and how to transition from each one as fast as possible. As a result, you will be able to better determine where exactly in the recovery process you reside emotionally, how long approximately it will take you to get past your breakup, and what obstacles you can expect along this entire journey. Just remember that this following arrangement of stages, it isn't a perfect representation of what everyone goes through after a breakup. Some people start in latter stages as opposed to the first. Other people skip certain stages, and other people revert back to actually previous stages in this recovery process. All of this is fine. So think of the following arrangement of stages as this simplified model of a complex and convoluted process that helps you better navigate a breakup. So let's get right into it, starting with breakup stage number 1, shock, disbelief, and denial. Now this stage serves as your mind's initial defense mechanism to the sudden change, cushioning the emotional impact of, well, the breakup. During this stage, you may find it really hard to accept what has happened. You might feel numb, or you might struggle to believe that the relationship, your relationship, has ended. It's also common to question the reality of the situation and even have a hard time believing in it. So drugs, sex, video games, shopping, whatever is your poison, don't suppress your shock, disbelief, and denial with it. This is arguably the best way to get through this specific breakup stage. In other words, don't bottle up your feelings or run away from them. These things will only traumatize you further and make you oftentimes miserable. Focus rather on acknowledging and accepting your loss. It's a much healthier way of dealing with this breakup stage, and if you cannot do it alone, consider hiring a therapist or some professional to help you out. As for breakup stage number 2, it's called the rumination stage. Now this stage is characterized by, you guessed it, intense rumination, reflection, contemplation, and dwelling on the details of your dead relationship. And during this stage, you will often find yourself to be more specific, caught in a loop of repetitive thoughts where you analyze what went wrong, where you re-examine past conversations or events, and literally question your own actions or decisions. On the one hand, this does help you process the whole thing, leading to feeling better eventually. And on the other hand, it also helps you figure out what mistakes you made in your relationship and how to avoid them in the next one, which is also great. So when facing this rumination stage, meditation, yoga, and journaling are your best friends, so lean on them. You can also experiment with distracting yourself through healthy activities that involve at least some form of light movement, like going to the gym, taking a stroll, or cooking a meal for yourself, or maybe even spending time with friends. As for the third breakup stage, it's all about disorganization and confusion. Now in this stage, you, as the title suggests, you'll be subjected to umpteen emotional and mental shifts, and it will truly feel like you're going crazy sometimes. You'll have basically days when you oversleep, days when you undersleep, days when you lack appetite, then days when you overeat, days when you are hyperproductive, days when you're very sluggish and unmotivated and, well, unproductive, days when you're overly positive, and days when you are overly negative. Now, when you're grappling with this breakup stage, consider free-form writing for a start. It will help you make sense of your disorganized, perhaps muddled thinking, and then focus on creating habits of making to-do lists, calendars, reminders, and so on. These habits will eventually get you to reclaim your focus and motivation so you can function normally again, or at least in crucial situations in, let's say, when it comes to work or when it comes to school. Anyhow, moving on to breakup stage number 4, it's the emotional mess stage. Now, this is the most complex breakup stage on our list, and in it, you will be inundated by a lot of different, very intense emotions, most commonly devastation, anger, sadness, guilt, and anxiety. Now, as a result of these feelings, what you can expect is emotional fragility, you can expect temper tantrums, a lot of frustration, irritability, feelings of powerlessness, loneliness and isolation, self-blame, regret, dumper's remorse if you're the dumper, fear of the future, and even physical symptoms like restlessness, racing thoughts, insomnia, and increased heart rate. Pretty vile stuff. Now, when it comes to navigating this breakup stage, note that while you cannot control your emotions, you can always control how you respond to your emotions. Therefore, number 1, let yourself feel what you feel, and number 2, respond well to whatever you feel. So for instance, instead of kicking your dog in the face when you're pissed off, go see a therapist or call up a good friend. Really that simple. As for breakup stage number 5, it's called the wanting your ex back stage. Now this breakup stage, and yes, this actually is a legit stage, involves a powerful longing, a desire to rekindle things with your ex, to rekindle your dead relationship. And during the stage, you may experience a surge of nostalgia, mainly, where you reminisce about the good times you shared with your ex. Now, you may also find yourself idolizing or romanticizing your relationship and remember only the positives while you downplay or overlook the negatives. And as a result, you exhibit a bunch of these needy psycho behaviors like begging your ex for another chance or calling them up 10 too many times in a row. Now, when you're dealing with this breakup stage, it's really important to realize that getting your ex back is almost always a futile pursuit. It just doesn't work out for most people. Although, if you still want to give it a shot, there is a tutorial video that will show up on your screen right now that you can click on and that you can watch if you're interested in getting back with your ex, that is. But anyhow, let's go onwards to our next stage. Breakup stage number 6, the ambivalence stage. Now, the ambivalence stage is one of the trickier stages of a breakup. In it, you will feel as though you love and hate your ex at the same time. Now, people also tend to have a lot of conflicting feelings about their breakup during this stage that they don't know how to even feel about in the first place. It's a very confusing time. And they usually, as a result of this confusion, juggle between ideas like, I want my ex back and I'm better off alone, for example. Now, sometimes ambivalence will grab you by the neck and you will have zero control over it. Other times you can quickly calm down and get a more realistic grasp on your situation. And these shifts in moods and feelings, they're sporadic and they are random. 1 minute you may feel one way, and then the next minute you may feel another way. All of this is normal when you're dealing with the ambivalence stage. And when you're actually dealing with it, don't try to force yourself to lean one way of your feelings or the other. Just observe them, let them be there, and try to accept them. They will go away in time, and to be fair, you can also try cultivating some gratitude, even, because the fact that you are feeling ambivalent right now is a sign that you're nearing the final stage of a breakup. It's a sign this shit show is almost over. So let's go to the final stage of a breakup, let's talk about it, it's the acceptance stage. Now, contrary to common belief, it doesn't relate to happiness. Here are just a couple of its really common hallmarks. In this stage, you feel little to no negative emotion around your breakup. You are starting to feel at peace. You can accept your situation for what it is, and you can accept what happened and it couldn't have happened any other way. You're looking forward, not backward anymore. You're not ruminating about the past. You're looking at and focusing on like, hey, what can I achieve right now, moving from this point forward? And also, a big hallmark of this stage is also when you've entirely forgave your ex for whatever mistakes they've made, and you've also forgave yourself for whatever mistakes you've made in your relationship. Now, for those of you who want to get an ex back, this stage is your time. In it, you have the highest chance of reconciliation, because you're not enveloped in neediness, fear, desperation, at least as much as in prior breakup stages. And because getting to this stage takes a long time, you can adequately reflect on your relationship during it and figure out where you've gone wrong, where you've gone right, or what has to be done to avoid breaking up again, be that with your ex or with someone totally new. Anyhow, that was it. If you want to go deeper into breakup recovery, you should download my recovery cheat sheet. Link in the description below this video. With that being said, bye bye.